What's going on, Ambitious Vet? Welcome to the Ambitious Vet Show. I'm your host, Chris Hoffman, Marine Corps veteran and award-winning entrepreneur who realized immediate transition education expires when you desire more than just your basic needs being met. What do I mean by immediate transition education? Well, career readiness, writing a resume, job fairs, interview prep, stuff like that is the first step towards really achieving self-fulfillment post-military. But also after that, what happens after we get our basic needs being met? How do we find that self-fulfillment? How do we find the deeper levels of satisfaction in our relationships? Well, that's why this show exists. Our goal is to dive into the trenches with subject matter experts, share inspiring transition stories, and provide masterclasses to equip you with the realistic perspective on what it takes to win in the trenches of everyday life post-military. Hey, Ambitious Vet, would love your support as we continue to highlight and promote some of the hottest veteran-owned, 100% American-made, or organizations that are donating a high percentage of their profits to military organizations. Anything from badass grill seasonings to fuel for warriors. Would love for you to take a minute to review the Ambitious Vet Network Holiday Gift Guide of 2022. I'll post that link in the show notes below. Make sure you enjoy this entire episode in its entirety, and then go make sure you gift someone, your friends, your loved ones, with the gift of Grill Your Ass Off, some of the best seasoning, Alpha Coffee, some of the best coffee I've ever had in my life, or a Marine Corps gag joke such as Crayons Ready to Eat. Big shout out to Frank for getting that product to market, or very least, our friends at Triple Nickel, some of the most diverse apparel, one of the most diverse apparel companies out there in the military market and beyond. And I would love for you to go check them out and enjoy the gift guide. They got some great discounts just for our network alone. So I will post that link in the show notes below, or go check out ambitiousvetnetwork.com/gift guide 2022.
It's time to get into the trenches, dig into your purpose, and fire up your life's fulfillment. The Ambitious Vet Podcast starts now.
What's going on, Ambitious Vet? We are right back inside the trenches this week with Amy Forsythe. Amy Forsythe is an award-winning military journalist who served 5 combat tours supporting Operations Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom, and has been on assignment for several other overseas missions. Amy started her career as a U.S. Marine combat correspondent in 1993 and currently serves in as a public affairs officer in U.S. Navy Reserve and is assigned to U.S. Special Operations Command. Her imagery taken while covering military operations around the world has been featured in numerous international and national media outlets through the years and continues to be used for historic purposes. She's also the author of Heroes Live Here, a tribute to Camp Pendleton Marines since September 11th, starting a passion project. It really just started as a passion project to showcase the memorials and markers on Camp Pendleton, and it turned into a collaborative work of art that honors our fallen heroes of the post-9/11 generation. Amy was first stationed at Camp Pendleton, California in 1995, and still has strong ties to the base and surrounding communities. She's involved in supporting various veteran service organizations in San Diego County and around the country. Ambitious Vet, let's go ahead and welcome Amy Forsythe to the show. Amy, are you there?
Hi, thanks. Great to be here. So looking forward to this.
Yeah, us too. I know we've been trying to get this working for the past few months, but I mean, the Navy, you're in demand. You were just in demand.
Well, yeah, I know I got mobilized to active duty, so I've been off the radar a little bit. And so I'm back into my routine and love to connect and chat with you, especially with your audience of veterans, my favorite people. So thank you.
Yeah, we're lucky to have you. So I would love for you just to kind of fill the gaps inside that introduction. Obviously, it's incredible you've captured some of the most heroic images probably throughout the years and through the Afghan and Iraqi war. And, definitely kudos to you with that. But also, we'd love to just kind of hear an insight of who you are when you're not working.
Well, I joined the Marines in 1993 from Santa Rosa, California, where I was born and raised. It's just north of San Francisco. And my grandparents were in the military, and I kind of grew up with the backdrop of San Francisco and the Fleet Weeks and the military community there. And I just knew it was a calling for me. And I knew if I could master how to use a camera and tell stories of our troops, I could be of meaningful service. And so almost 30 years later, I'm still at it. And so I've just had this epic wave of amazing deployments. And after 9/11, things changed for me a lot. I got mobilized to active duty. I'd already served active duty, and then 9/11 happened and then changed everything for me. But I just always felt this calling that if we were still at war, I wanted to be a part of it. But photography is a hobby. Videography has been a hobby. I worked in TV as a reporter for many years as well in between my deployments. But I just feel that now with social media too, there's so much more storytelling going on. And when I'm not behind the camera and not generating content or writing press releases, I live in San Diego, California, and I help with veteran projects and sit on the different boards of different organizations. And I like to mentor and coach, up and coming public affairs or military journalists. And I really enjoy hiking and play a lot of tennis and golf. So just anything outdoors I love. And I have a 7-year-old rescue dog that I got while I was stationed on Guam. And I look forward to spending more time with her. She what they call a boonie dog, because they have a really bad stray dog problem on Guam, and we were able to rescue her and bring her back to the States when we moved back here about 2.5 years ago. So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Thanks for giving us an insight of everything that you're balancing. And I know I'm based in Dallas Fort Worth now, and I don't know where the listener is listening to this right now where they're based in, but man, I miss that weather in San Diego.
I know, it really is amazing. I forget just how lucky we are here. It's about 65 degrees today in December, and it's sunny. But but born and raised in California, I do appreciate the warm weather, and it's definitely home for me here in San Diego.
Very nice. Definitely miss the oceans and the mountains over there. Really, very nice. So I want to kind of shift gears. You're recognized as a great communicator, obviously, influencer, and a really good digital storyteller, kind of what you've already been kind of bringing up here. My question to you is being I wouldn't say former Marine, because once a Marine, always Marine, hoorah, right? Turning into a Navy reservist, right? Public affairs officer. Walk us through some of the challenges that you went through as far as getting out of that whole mindset of self-promotion is bad and I'm an egotistical beep, you know what I mean? For wanting to self-promote myself. Kind of have us navigate through how you overcame that and really valuing a personal brand, because you're one of the best at doing that online from what I can tell.
Well, thanks. I mean, I still struggle with that. Sometimes people are always looking. I'll share with you, people are always looking. They may not like, but they're what you're putting out, but they're always watching you. So just navigating that. I always try to promote other organizations or programs that I'm involved in, and really speak to how can other people get involved? How can other people help? If someone's curious about how to volunteer or what resources are out there. And so trying to be a connector for people, for things that I'm passionate about, or if someone doesn't know. And so I'll tell you, when I served about 18 years in the Marines, active and reserve, and then switching over to become an officer in the Navy, a colonel that I worked for was the one who brought up the direct commission program. And I thought, no way, I love the Marine Corps. I did not want to leave the Marine Corps, but he encouraged me to put an application in. I got selected, and it was the best decision I ever made. And in my heart and in my head, obviously, I'm still in the Marines, but growing beyond what you think your own limitations are was really valuable to me, because I saw myself as retiring as a Marine. Like, you are married to the Marine Corps, and I just didn't see myself beyond that. But I got accepted, and I just loved expanding my network, and we're all on the same team. It doesn't matter what uniform you wear. And so I kind of grew into a increased leadership role and increased opportunities. And the Navy has some really great opportunities that I've been fortunate to take advantage of. I was mobilized to active duty for multiple deployments in Afghanistan, assigned to under Joint Special Operations Command. I had an opportunity to serve in Poland and Romania for ballistic missile defense. And now, as a Navy Public Affairs officer in the reserves, I am also assigned to Special Operations Command now. And so there's just greater opportunities out there if you're open to learning about them. And so going from enlisted to officer, from active to reserve, and direct commissioning for me. And I've been able to maintain a civilian career as well. So having said all that, you do need to identify who you are, what your skills are, and how do you put that out there where you can share them. And I encourage people to use LinkedIn as a way to showcase your projects, your work, your connections, your education, and your experience, because it really is a snapshot of who you are if you're looking to position yourself for greater opportunities, greater challenges. And, most people in the public affairs are on that, but I forget that there are other people who are not professional communicators who need some coaching and some training, and that's great. And that's what we're here to talk about.
No, I love that and love that. And thanks for having us crayon eaters learn how to tell better stories in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, the Marines make the best storytellers because it's authentic, and they can talk about from their heart about their own experiences. Nothing beats that. There's nothing I can say or a commander can say that's going to truly capture the spirit of the Marine Corps better than the Marine themselves. And so making them building their confidence, building up, what do they have to say, and identifying for themselves their own experiences to share. Whenever we're working with media, I always encourage that Marines make the best spokespeople, and the service member themselves. And when they speak from their heart, they really can articulate the best way that their own experience, and so they can shine and really share what they've learned and the hardships and the struggles, but the pride and patriotism that they have as service members.
No, that's great. With that being said, I want to kind of transition into some of your practical tips, right? I know we're looking at an article of some of the best practices on how to build a successful LinkedIn profile, and how to leverage your profile, how to leverage the platform that we call LinkedIn. What would be some practical tips that you would provide around how to improve your communication using the platform? I know that you've already mentioned, figuring out how to do law of reciprocation. As you see opportunities come in, who else can I bring in to these opportunities or these projects? I think that's an incredible golden grenade. But what would be some practical golden grenades you would provide the listener today around how to improve those communication skills?
Yeah, well, luckily, LinkedIn recognizes that veterans need LinkedIn as a tool to either leverage their experience, make connections, and look for their next opportunity. And so definitely one of the top things that will help improve their profile is selecting the right picture for their LinkedIn profile. And so it doesn't take a professional photographer to get the right image or the right photo, but basically the visual to help you stand out is so important. So a nice, clean shot of the face, or, not something far away, not something that's blurred or looking off to the side, but just a nice, genuine shot where you can see both eyes and the profile is there, where you can identify recognizable. Are you recognized if I saw you walking down the street? Is that the same picture that is recent, not, 10 or 15 years old? I do encourage veterans not to necessarily wear their uniform while in their profile shot if they're looking to transition out of the military. Also, LinkedIn has an opportunity to have a banner photo on top. And so that's also important. And you can create those with free software, or just, a landscape or something that identifies you, maybe your hobbies or something, but using that photo can help illustrate who you are and maybe some of your background experience. But also there's a summary link in there. And then what you want to do is tell your own story about who you are, not just what you've done or where you've been, but basically your overall snapshot of who you are. What your skills translate to, and what you believe in, what you're looking to do and achieve, what kind of organization do you want to join. Other good tips include do not try to avoid buzzwords, military jargon. Try to articulate in plain language, because you'll be interacting with civilians, hiring managers, senior people, networking. You're going to expand your circle to people outside of the military. So trying to avoid those buzzwords. Just a few tips there for those looking to really enhance their profile on LinkedIn. And luckily LinkedIn, and now, they have always offered a 1-year free premium account for veterans. And so this is a great chance for veterans to take advantage of that and develop their networking and really build out their profile.
Yeah, thanks for sharing some of those tips and some of the buzzwords. Like, so us Marines can't be like, oh, that motivator, that innovative, that amazing, all those adjectives that just kind of fluff it all up, because we may feel insecure that we're not valuable enough for the employer, whatever it may be, right? So you're talking about those kind of buzzwords.
Like executed the target and the strategic, the things that we use that are, inherent to the military, but just speak in plain language. And so if you need help with that, there's plenty of help out there online. You can LinkedIn even has online tutorials to help you sort of revamp your language to those keywords that you'll want to use on LinkedIn. But LinkedIn is such a great profile. I love connecting with people on LinkedIn. And I think that once people are on there, they'll find that it is a useful tool. It may not translate immediately to a position but it will grow your network. And I always it's my go-to for whenever I meet someone, and I can connect on there, and basically verifying people who they are. Basically, are they who they say they are? And then come to find out, maybe we have some mutual friends in contact and a common connection, or someone went to school where I went to school, or just trying to find those commonalities. And so you'll find that people find we're more connected than we know it. And so when we serve with people and just kind of circle around, and LinkedIn is a great way to map out your career history. And it's easy to write a resume once you've filled in the blanks of the LinkedIn profile. It gives you opportunities to put in dates, projects, even links to work that you may have worked on, and summarizing your overall experience. I even listed my global travel, my international travel, countries that I've traveled to, because I think that that's very important to show your international ability to your travel to travel internationally. That's a skill set, but it just shows that cultural awareness and diversity.
No, I love that. And I think even what I noticed on your profile too, you have hashtags, which are travel and tourism, communication tips, like all these things that you want to be known for and are known for, and get tons of media and recognition for those hashtags. So, you're definitely relevant. And I love you bringing up the tip too, as well, as far as diving into who people, figuring out who people really are, and if they are who they say they are. Everyone's a CEO. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur at this point. Everyone's like this buzzword, right? So what are some ways, and I know that we're coming up on time, so this would be the last question I have for you. What are some ways for you to kind of do your due diligence on someone on LinkedIn and figure out if they are who they are presenting they are on LinkedIn?
Well, I do like to maybe in a short conversation, if I meet someone and, oh, I didn't know, I go to their LinkedIn, I didn't know they went to this school or that school, or they were stationed at a place that I would happen to be stationed at, or, there's so many backgrounder information that you can find out with people on LinkedIn. If someone was I was stationed in Guam, I lived there for 5 years, and then I meet someone and we chat, I didn't know. And then on their LinkedIn profile, maybe they were in Guam 10 or 15 years ago. And so okay, we have that in common. But LinkedIn can be such an enormously valuable tool for veterans now. I'm looking to transition into the civilian sector using hashtags about your specialty, whether you're in logistics or you're working in finance or your administration or even leadership skills now. So for infantry, leading a team overseas or accountable for equipment. There's so many ways to reframe those leadership abilities within LinkedIn. And so really using that as your first stepping out, and it's out there, people can find you, and you'll be amazed at the friends you can make and the connections that you can make in order to position yourself as an expert in a field, or just make those important connections as you grow and look for your next position.
Yeah, ambitious vet, what I'm hearing is just whoever you are on a daily basis, be that on LinkedIn, because it's going to, time will either expose or promote you, right? And it will, I promise you. So make sure that you're consistent and who you are on an everyday basis, just being you on LinkedIn. Find commonalities, because you will find people like you that probably don't know what they're doing on LinkedIn and want to bond with another person that doesn't know what they're doing on LinkedIn. So you guys can improve together. Just be honest with the reality of your life. And I promise you'll find other honest people on LinkedIn as well. So Amy, any last saved rounds? Some ways I like to position this last question is there's a veteran that's listening to this show right now that's either a aspiring entrepreneur that's out, kind of a mid-level manager inside of a position, but is just not challenged enough, right? Is aspiring to be more. There's an active duty member that's about to transition out, but is extremely ambitious, has goals, but is scared to death of what's about to hit them. And then there's in between, there's a startup entrepreneur here that's ambitious, that's a veteran. That's just looking about how to improve their everyday life. Would be a few last save rounds or one last save round, and then we'll go ahead and give them a call to action to go learn more about you.
Well, thanks. I do like LinkedIn for the purpose of learning more about people, and anytime I can give a thumbs up or a clap, a celebrate, or something that I support is valuable, because I like to cheer people on. I like to keep tabs on, people that I've supervised in the past, or even former bosses, and just really be there to cheer them on. I may not post anything about me personally, but I can keep up on people. And when you can like and follow and share other people's successes, you'll find that, it makes you feel good, and you know what they're doing. So another tip to what they say is, don't post and ghost. If you are going to post something about your professional life or something on LinkedIn, an article that you found helpful, and people want to engage or continue the conversation, keep that going and encourage people to, engage with you. But liking and following and sharing other people's success will make you a standout, and really learning from other people, kind of using it as a listening post, basically, like listening to what people are doing and cheering people on along the way. I love, for that reason alone, I like to support, and it's a way of coaching people and really cheering them on. And when they're posting about their accomplishments, whether graduating from college or getting a new job, just being on there and liking things, it really can move the needle and help people feel supported. But veterans out there, whether you're just starting your transition or you're served many years ago, our veteran community is so strong, and if one of us succeeds, we all succeed. And so for those ambitious vets out there, you guys are shining bright, and I just want to cheer you on, and I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn if you want to follow me, and we'll connect. I love hearing those success stories out there, veterans who've really taken what they've learned in the military and turned it into a very successful, thriving, healthy, happy life. And it's not easy, but we're out there to support each other.
I love that, Amy. And Ambitious Vet, if you want right now, go to check out her website, heroeslivehere.com. I'll also have all of the links in the show notes below around how to get a signed copy of her book. And also just to how to learn more about Amy and everything that she's up to. She's moving very quickly and is paving the way for a lot of storytellers that are up and coming. So Amy, thanks so much for joining the show.
Oh, thank you. Great to be with you. Keep up the great work.
The Ambitious Vet is available on all popular podcast platforms. Go to vettrainingcoaching.com to subscribe, rate, and share with fellow vets.
Ambitious Vet, before you go, make sure you go check out ambitiousvetnetwork.com/gift guide 2022. There you're going to find some of the hottest veteran-owned, 100% American-made, or organizations that are donating a portion of their profits to military organizations. You'll find anything from badass grill seasonings such as Grill Your Ass Off to Fuel for Warriors such as Alpha Coffee. Or even gag gifts for us Marines like Crayons Ready to Eat. Regardless, I promise you're going to find some quality products that are going to help boost the American economy, which is really important right now. There's some exclusive discounts that are only available for a limited time if you are a part of this Ambitious Vet Network. So again, make sure you go check out ambitiousvetnetwork.com/gift guide 2022. You can also find the link in the show notes below.